1, 2, 1, 2. That is me, Joe McGrath. That is Andy Tate. That is Dave, aka Kid. Hello, you alright?
No,
we're not alright.
Not alright at all.
I'll allow it. Full-time Devils. We'll get to a little bit of a rant in a minute, I'm sure. We'll have a bit of a chat and a conversation. Oh, that was me. That's me practicing if the sound's good. Yeah, the sound's good. I just had a bit of technical difficulty, so apologise why we're a bit late. We're going to have a chat with Andy Tate and with Dave about our kid, about what we've just seen, but it's your chance to have your say. Come and have a chat with us. 0345 111 7625. Andy, I want to get to Sam, who's in America first off, because he's been on the phone for 5 minutes. So hold your little rant in for 5 minutes time after we speak to Sam. How you doing, Sam? You okay?
Not really. How about you, Joe?
I'm all right. I mean, it was very disappointing that. But Sam, you call in every week, and you called in the last 2 weeks, and we had some different sort of thoughts as a United fan. You know, we picked up points against big teams. Now we go back to losing against bottom of the side Watford. What happened, mate?
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. It was just all around. It wasn't good enough. Technically, yes, we had 60% of the ball, but sideways passing, just technically not good enough. We're losing control of the ball. Fred looks shaky, and then you bring in Pogba with 65 odd minutes in, and I can't. I'm not going to defend Ollie. It comes down to the players too, but he was playing too deep, I think, and you put Massa in. He's got experience in that number 10 role and can break down the low block, but it wasn't working. With Pogba deep, played in a few good balls, but overall the movement wasn't good enough. Everyone was standing still. You can get motivated for the derby. You can get motivated for a match against your former manager, but they look sluggish and complacent today. I can't believe what I've just seen.
Andy Tate, do you want to have a bit of a chat and sort of speak to Sam about what you've just seen?
Yeah, I completely agree what you're saying, mate. I mean, I've, like I say, about putting in shifts against City, putting in shifts against Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool. That was just like Sheffield United. Like Sheffield United for most of it.
Yeah.
Now, I've worked 5 nights on the spin this week. I've put in shifts. I've worked my socks off.
You can swear, mate. You can swear.
I've worked my fucking socks off, and I didn't see any of them United players today. That's from 1 to 11 doing anything at all. 2 silly mistakes has cost us. 1 shot after 55 minutes. Scott McTominay, Jesse Lingard. What the fuck was that in the first half?
Yeah.
So don't tell me it's Solskjaer's responsibility today when that shower of shite can step it up for a game in Manchester and you can't step it up for teams in the bottom half of the league. That's it.
That's a good right. I mean, do you agree with that, kid?
I agree to an extent, but at some point you've got to point the finger at Solskjaer. It's like Sam said, this has been an ongoing thing since the beginning of the season. Teams that are lesser teams, we've known that we'd struggle to break them down, but I can't see any improvement. If you know that your squad is inept at doing that, then the first thing you should be working on the training field week in, week out is how do you break down this team. Now, why with the first half, what did you say, 55 minutes when we had our first shot?
Yeah.
If your problem is if you can't create any chances to make a shot, why are you waiting till like 69 minutes to bring Pogba on the pitch knowing you've not created anything up until that point? And I thought the balls coming out the back was terrible today. I think it was Maguire's worst game for United today.
Sam, do you agree with that? Maguire's worst game?
Yeah, it was a vulnerability. He looked frustrated trying to go forward to create the chances, but you can't be doing that when all you can do is trudge back. He looked like just an absolute liability. I want to say it's hard to believe that we paid. Well, it is hard to believe that we paid 80 million quid for him, but it's Wan-Bissaka as well. He played well up until that. To that penalty mistake, and everything went downhill from there.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say.
All you can say, Sam. Listen, thank you very much for calling us again.
Sam.
So many callers trying to get on. So Sam, I forgive you if you just try and get a couple more on. Sam, calling from America there, having a chat with us on the Full-Time Devils Takeover here for another half an hour, having your say about what you've just seen United do then. 2-0 defeat against Watford. Wayne is in Bradford. Hello, mate. You good?
Oh, I'm raging. Absolutely. Because, how can I word it to you? It's the same old sideways passing, midfield static. No fullbacks try to get forward and stretch the defenders. Nothing. He's tactically. I mean, I've always stuck up for Ollie. I've always thought, no, you can't. But I think it's time for him to go.
No.
Because he's not. What else can you do? I mean, it's the same tactics all the time with him.
Now, Wayne. Now, for anyone who doesn't know this, we obviously we do this after every single game. We're doing it now for a couple of months. Obviously, it used to be on a Thursday. The full time I was phoning. Wayne, you've been a big fan of Solskjaer, and now and again, like you always call up and you always say, "Let's give him time." What is it in today's game that you saw that you weren't happy about, and now you've called up and you're changing your mind in a way, and you're saying, "Do you know what? That's enough."
It's a lack of fight and a lack of how can I word it? There's no desire, you name it, you can throw it all at them. I mean, to be honest with you, today, you know that Watford are going to stand, they've not had a good season. So what they're going to do, they're going to stand back, they're going to get well organised, and they're going to say, come and break us down.
Everton was like that.
Everton was like that, but we don't have any creativity in the team from out wide or anything. I mean, get some crosses in, get some shots in, show some passion, give us something to fight back at. There's nothing. And then you get Everton that go out and get Carlo Ancelotti. What is going on?
No. It's too far for you now, Wayne. That's it, it's done.
It's too far for me because you can't turn around and say that we've got the worst amount of points in years.
Yeah, but we're still within touching distance of the top four. Unless this time last year we were 12 points off the top four. So you got to take the rough with the smooth. There's still a chink in there. There's still a light at the end of the tunnel. But whether United can push and get out of the tunnel and into the light is another thing.
Andy, what do you make of this then? When Wayne's on the phone and Wayne's called up time and time again saying give Solskjaer more time, he's been pushed to his limits today, Wayne, and he's done with him.
Every fan's got a limit. I understand that. I mean,
where's your limit? Are you done?
No, I'm not done because I can say he's a legend and he deserves his crack. So if you get rid of him today, who are you going to get in? Pochettino?
There's two world-class managers out there that have actually got that won things or improved the team that they're at, and that's in Pochettino or Allegri. And you're talking about Solskjaer being a legend or this light at the end of the tunnel. Where is the light at the end of the tunnel? Our statistics this season, whenever we've had most possession on the ball, we've only won 38% of the games. Now we've played well against the likes of City and Spurs and Liverpool when we've had less percentage of the game. And the only Solskjaer tactics that I've seen is hit him on the counter attack. There is absolutely nothing at all. The football when we're playing lower teams in the league is equal to that of Van Gaal. Like Wayne was saying, side to side passing all the time. There's nothing at all.
I accept this is a transitional season.
It's been transitional for
no, but this is a new slate.
It's all going off. Wayne, loves to speak to you, man. We're going to go back to America, to New York. Simba's on the line. How you doing, mate?
Simba.
Hey, how you doing, man? I called last week, and I kind of got a little bit of stick from you guys.
Oh, I was here last week, mate. Handed the baton to someone else. What did you say last week?
I've been saying this since the Newcastle game. Right? I respect Ali as a player, but what has Ali done as a coach to deserve time? Like Klopp deserved the time he got at Liverpool because of what he did at Dortmund.
Yeah.
If I was in a coma, and I'll be honest with you, if we're playing these teams, if I was in a coma for a year and I just woken up, I would have never known that we had fired Mourinho because the football looks the exact same way. The only time we look different is when we play against teams that press us and we hit them on the counter. But if I was in a coma and I woke up, I would have never known that we had fired Mourinho. This guy has no, and I respect him. I think the best thing for us to do is just tell him, hey, you're not the man for this job. I have no problem being patient, but I don't think Ali is the man to be patient with. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm watching us. And even, like, you watch a game, right, and we're not playing well. And all he does is sit there and with his legs crossed, and, he doesn't even move. And, you watch Pep, you watch Klopp, you watch even Poch. When the teams, like, when the players aren't doing what they're supposed to do, they're on the touchline shouting at people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just watching the game, and he's just, and you can see that type of mentality rubs off on the players, like that kind of nonchalant, I don't really care kind of, well, I'm not saying he doesn't care, but that's how it comes off when he sits on the bench like that. You know what I mean? And I'm just looking at it, so I'm like, even if we need a number 10, Manchester United needing a number 10, like one player being absent should not. We shouldn't look like that with one player being absent. You should, as a top coach, you should be able to reevaluate your tactics and have it still get performance. Because you can still get a number 10 and he's injured, so that means we're gonna have to accept losing every game. What has Ali done? Everyone's saying give him time. What has he done to deserve the time? That's what I want to know. Okay, everyone's saying give him time. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask another fan.
I needed to get that off my chest.
Yeah, Simba, you stay there because we're still going in America. We've got Sean in America as well. How you doing, Sean? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. I agree with everything the last caller said.
Yeah, Simba's still on the line as well. So you two are 100%. It's done now for Ali.
No, I mean, I feel like for United fans, we like playing basically. So we're going to want to see Ole fail because we love him too much. Kind of like Andy as well.
Yeah. So Simba, final words to you before we get Sean's point.
Final words. Yeah, just one last thing. People keep saying, "Oh, we don't want to be that club that keeps switching coaches." Look at Real Madrid and Barcelona; they fire coaches almost every season, and look at how they're still winning stuff.
Yeah, but this is
how many coaches we run.
This is Manchester United.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
I don't understand. I never understand that. We don't want to be the sacking club.
Yeah, this is modern football. No coach has been at Manchester United for 20 years now.
I'm a traditionalist.
Well, maybe. But anyways, I love you guys, man.
Love you too, Simba.
Keep up the good work. And all right, thanks, man.
Speak to you over the Christmas period, mate. Have a wonderful Christmas. If not, Sean, we're back to you then, mate. So, what have you seen today from your United team you're just frustrated with?
Well, for me to start with, like the lineup, I feel like was poor. There's absolutely no reason why we should be starting the same team that we played against City, against Everton, and now against Watford. They require different things. Like Lingard offered us nothing today, and from the way it was, from the way the game was going at the beginning, we could already tell like the pattern. It happened like we struggled in the first half. The team gets a goal against us, and all of a sudden we wake up. And if they get 2 goals, then we're done for. I mean, like Andy, like all the United fans, I love Ole. He's a legend, basically. But there's really no evidence to show that there's anything good that can come out of this. You understand?
I understand. I understand, but did he give away the penalty? Did he give away the penalty today? Did he let the goal in through for the first goal? It's the players on the pitch.
I honestly don't blame. I don't blame Wan-Bissaka or De Gea for that. Wan-Bissaka has been solid for us all season. He's allowed to make a mistake, and so has De Gea. So the same goes for De Gea as well. He's allowed to make a mistake, but the manager Ole needs to be taught. What are they doing in training essentially? What tactics does anybody see to show that Ole has anything to show for? I mean, what is our style of play? Counter-attack is not a style of play. Everybody does understand for people. Like it's not enough to just hope to beat people on the break. Like what do you do? It's very easy to defend against us. It is incredibly easy for teams to just set up in blocks of 2 and watch United pass the ball from left to right and repeat the same patterns over and over again. Like there's nothing that's come out of this Ole adventure other than disappointment and heartbreak. And we just hope that somewhere along the line, magically, something is going to happen.
Something has to happen in January. Something has to happen in January. We need to add to this to make it better.
Let's wait and see, but what is Ole's plan? Like, how does he want to play football is what I don't understand. Yes, like Jonathan, how does he want to set up the United team? Now, he does not pull back and then tweak the formation a bit, put forward deep and then push McTominay forward. Like, what the hell is it? Like, what kind of style of play is that? I thought I was coming in to replace Lingard as player as number 10, only for me to show McTominay in that position.
Yeah. Can I just come in on what that Simba from New York said, and he made a really good point saying that this Man United team, even though it needs improvements in maybe this attacking midfielders or creativity, them 11 players should be beating Watford. This is a Watford team that Brighton put 3 past, that West Ham put 3 past.
This is a Watford team that's sitting at the bottom of the...
Yeah, that's it.
This team...
One minute. So them players are better than the Watford team. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But you've got to remember, last week, they were very unlucky not to get something from Anfield.
Right, okay.
So basically, they got a new manager. They got spring in their step, and they've played for the manager today. Right. Where is the moral responsibility of the players? today.
I'm not saying that they're void of that, but what I'm saying is that our manager, unless the option there is to counter attack, and that's what we're successful at. What is the plan B that Ole Solskjaer has?
Sean, thank you very much for your call all the way from America. Wow, we've got so many fans calling us from all different parts of the country. We're going to go to Blackburn soon. It's not
Lancashire.
Lancashire. Sean, thank you very much for your call, mate. We're going to go to Inns. Is that what I'm saying? It Inns? Ennis. Sorry about that. How are you doing? You all right?
No, not really, to be honest.
Go on, talk to us.
Watford. How are we losing to Watford? I mean, yeah, we lost to West Ham, them kind of teams this season, but Watford the bottom of the table. Yeah, they should have got a result at Anfield last week, but our midfield was sloppy until Pogba came on. Pogba was probably the best player of the game. He was creative when he came on, making chances, hitting them shots in for the rebounds for Rashford can get. We're just Man United this season, to be honest.
You're fuming?
Very.
So what is it that you think should happen next as a fan here? If you were put in charge of the club, what would you do, mate? What would be your next steps?
Well, first of all, I don't want to turn into an Arsenal fan, so I want to back the manager.
Who does?
I mean, it all comes down to Woodward and the Glazers, to be honest. I think everyone thinks this. I'm just fuming, to be honest.
You're fuming. So, the question I was going to get out of you is Ole in or Ole out?
And he's only had a year. Like, this Christmas he's only had a year, so, and he's...
You've got to give him a season, lad.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to at least a season.
Yeah, I agree on that. And going forward from there is entirely the board's decision.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, mate. Thank you very much for your call there, giving us a chat with us on the Full-Time Devils Takeover. Your say about your club. United did get beat 2-0 today. We're going to go to Dan in Blackburn. How you doing, Dan? You okay?
Hi guys, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, Dan. Said we're coming over to you. So what's your opinions, what's your thoughts about what we just saw?
Well, I'll try and keep it quick. I know you're busy.
Fire away.
First thing I was going to say is I've signed the petition, so hopefully XS Manchester will still be around. Secondly, I was just going to talk about, you could pick the bones out of many things in that game, but just to try and pick a couple of things. One thing, I don't know what you guys think of Martial these days. I know there's been this, the Martial SC thing and all that, but for me, if you're playing well, you're playing well. I don't get behind a player and just get behind him no matter what. And for me, Martial, can you honestly say City, Liverpool, Madrid, Barcelona, Inter, any of the top teams at the moment, does he start week in, week out for them? Because I don't think he does.
No, I agree on that.
I don't think that he's as good as we thought he might be. But rather than the thing for United over the last few years for me is that we don't react. You look at Barcelona, they bought Coutinho, they gave him barely a season and went, don't think he's that good, ship him out the door straight away. They just react. If it's not working, get rid, just move on and just get somebody else in. And I just feel like we hang on to people and we hang on to these things, the Martial SC and all this kind of stuff.
Phil Jones fan club.
It's just detrimental. Yeah.
Does that extend to the manager then, with that philosophy that we're hanging on to things if they're not working?
I don't know. I guess it's a difficult one now. I was thinking about that while listening to the other callers waiting to come on. It's difficult because I know a lot of people all the blame on the Glazers and stuff like that, but I look at a lot of the things they've done and I find it hard to criticise some of the things. I know people are going to jump on this, but like when we got after Moyes, probably Moyes was probably Alex Ferguson's own sort of recommendation, but after that point we picked up every best manager that was available at the time, and so I can't really fault them for that. They were trying to get the best possible and they got them, and it didn't work. I can't put my finger on it. It seems like nobody else can, and it feels like they went down that line, everyone moaned and moaned about it, these managers that came in, so then they almost went, okay, you
you think this guy's the best thing for the club, Solskjaer. You want him. Here he is. There he is. So I don't know whose fault it is anymore. I'm sort of lost as to what should, everyone blames them, but what do you want them to do? I don't understand. Has somebody got an answer to what do you actually want them to do? Because they've done the best managers, they've done the guy from within. What's the answer?
The answer, what the owners should say, the owners of Liverpool, they come out and stress how much they want they're committed to the club. I've never heard the Glazers say that in 6 years. I've never heard one interview in 15 years on MUFC. One interview, and they do all the talking through Ed Woodward. If you want to stay committed, nobody likes the Glazers, nobody likes Ed Woodward. But if you want to fucking get some responsibility with the fans, interact with them.
I'm not too sure on when you were saying that they've gone out and got the best managers either. I thought Van Gaal was a bit of a dinosaur before we got him. He was out in the wilderness after getting sacked by Munich.
He'd just come out of doing really well in the World Cup. Yeah, but everyone was talking him up just after that.
But I think a World Cup. I mean, we didn't play. They didn't play fantastic football, the Netherlands, in that. But before that, he got sacked by Bayern Munich. Mourinho was on a downward trajectory following Real Madrid. So they weren't the best manager. The best manager. Sorry.
Honestly,
Guardiola was out there. We didn't go and get him, did we?
But at that point, can you honestly say that everybody, as soon as them managers were appointed, was anybody, and I'm talking about people who aren't United fans who said it to me, nobody was going, oh, you've got a shit manager there. Everyone was going, oh, hang on, here we go, United are back. That's all I could hear from people, and then for some reason it just hasn't worked every single time.
Well, Woodward's the problem there, and that's the myth. The Glazers, if you ask them what the Glazers do, sack Woodward, and I think that's what happens with Solskjaer goals.
Dan, thank you very much for your call. You make some big points there, and he's true. If anyone's got the answer to Dan's point, what do they do? What do you do next? Maybe Rob has the answer to that. How you doing, Rob? You alright? Rob! Rob, maybe Franklin's there. Franklin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you guys?
Good to speak to you, mate. Rob, unfortunately, I don't know where Rob's gone. But talk to us, Franklin. You're over in Spain. You give us a call. You do it every week. What's happened then with Manchester United?
I think we're exactly where we belong. That's the truth. We're exactly there.
Where we belong for how long do we belong here?
Yeah, as long as we don't want to face the reality that Ole, this is how good he is. He's just like this. This is how good he can be. He can play with the big side. He can sit back, go on counter. That is how good he is. He can. I don't see, because when you look at the game today, the players, they played the way they've been coached to play. Every time we keep coming back and say this player, they are not good enough, this, that. But look, you want to tell me that these players, they are not better than players that have a Sheffield United?
Yep.
They are not better than players that are in Wolf. Even in Leicester City, I don't see Leicester City as a better player than one-on-one. And also, the guys are playing exactly the way the coach wants them to play. And over, this is the 7th time this season that we've gone behind, playing a team that sit behind, and the coach does not come up with any solution. So this is what it is right now. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah, that's a great point though with Leicester.
It is.
It's all about Ole in or Ole out. It's the reality. We got stuck with sentiment here, because if you look at the team very well, if you look at Ole's records, if it wasn't because of his affiliate with his club, do you think Ole would have still been in the job?
No, he wouldn't. If he hadn't scored that goal 20 years ago, no. But he's trying to build tradition, and that's what he's resembling at the moment. He's trying to bring that back.
What?
And he's done it to a little bit to a standard. He's brought it back. There's a team unity that wasn't there last season, and he's got rid of the bad apples, which are now gone. But he needs to bring in more fresh fruit.
Andy's
making him grown.
Andy, can I say something, Andy? Andy, do you know what got why the decision to sack David Moyes was so quick?
Because he didn't get Champions League football.
No. People like you spoke your heart out. That was the very first time I watched you on Full-Time Devil. I saw you pouring out your heart because you love the club very well. But right now we got stuck with a situation of a man that we love We know Ole love the club just as you and I love the club. But the fact remains that there is too much of sentiment. Ole is only there at the job because of what he has done for us as a player, not as a coach. If it wasn't a Man United player back in the days, I don't see Ole still keeping that job. And the way these guys are playing week in, week out, why is Lingard still playing? Who makes that call? It's not the Glazers that make those calls. It's not Woodward that made those calls. Why is Daniel James still playing? Because it's just good in counter football. Once it's not good in counter football, we don't do nothing. So I put it on Ole. The last time I called on this was against Man City. I was like, oh, this man deserves a credit because it was his job. Anytime we fail is him. Anytime we win is him.
Yeah, and to live by the sword, die by the sword in a weird way. Frankly, we've got so many calls we need to get on. Thank you very much for giving your chat. He made some big points out there, and he says he's got to come from the heart on what you think should be next for United. Rob should be on the phone this time. Rob, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, Rob.
I'm good, thanks.
We've got you, yes, Rob. Right, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
That'd be good this point, Rob. What do you want to say, mate? United have been beaten 2-0 by Watford.
Yeah, so I've watched the whole match, and to be honest, I just can't believe how far we've fallen off since Ole has come to the club. Because you just think about the first 13 games under Ole, we were playing really, really good football, right, with very similar players, and I just find it so hard to see how we can drop off so quickly. You know, we're getting bantered at the moment. We're losing 2-0. We lost 2-0 to Huddersfield at the end of last season.
Yeah, we drew 1-1. That was. And we lost to Cardiff. You lost to Cardiff. I think that's what we're referring. Yeah.
Cardiff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to go in there backing up a bit, Andy. You kind of threw one under the bus even more on it. Yeah.
He's got a point.
No, it wasn't. It was Cardiff we lost to at home 2-0. They got relegated. That's what I think.
Yeah. But I just. The thing I worry about is with Rashford and Martial, right? So Rashford, I don't see either of them as central strikers because Martial, firstly, he lacks the qualities as a good centre forward, and Rashford, I feel like he rotates position too often. I feel like if he wants to develop as a really, really top player, he needs to choose one or the other. Because when I watch him play, I can't decide whether he's a left winger or a striker, and I just don't know if he's got the qualities to be either. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I don't think they can play together, Martial and Rashford. I don't think I don't think
it's like Gerrard Lampard, way.
I know. Maybe if you had something to it, they can. If you bring in somebody to take the pressure off him, they could play in a free.
But what the thing is with this, and this again bringing Solskjaer's decision making. Greenwood's on fire at the moment. Why did he not start today?
Yeah, well, I agree. Greenwood looks so promising. Every time he comes on, he either scores or assists normally. But I just can't. And also just the basics of football we're not doing right. That's the thing that
simple
strikes me the most. And also, do you see Maguire when he gets the ball? Because we're so lacking in creativity, he almost runs into the last third of the pitch, which he shouldn't be doing.
And he lost the ball again today when he did it as well.
He lost the ball again, but and also us having two sitting midfielders. You know when Maguire or Lindelof have the ball, they don't know what to do with it because no one comes to get the ball from midfield. We just have Fred and McTominay just sort of sitting. No one comes to get the ball. No one's a playmaker. So it always goes from the centre backs to the wings, back to the middle, back to the wings, and we've got no direct play. We've got no sort of Michael Carrick player who puts balls in through the middle.
This is where Paul Pogba's got to show his worth now, isn't it?
Exactly.
He's got to step up. He's got to step up now because I think
he really does. Yeah.
He's really alienated the last the last week or so. He split the fan base again.
I was surprised to see him back in the shirt, and I don't think we wouldn't have seen him.
Like I said this on a podcast last week. I'm not bothered if he plays for United ever again. Because I can see him. I can see a way forward with him. Yep. It's all about him. That's fair enough. He's got a family. He was at a wedding. dancing, no problem. I've been to weddings, but don't. Listen. All I'm trying to say is, look, you can go to a wedding.
Just a funny line. I've been to a wedding.
I'm all for family. I'm all for tradition. But don't piss off the fans by broadcasting it.
Oh,
the
man.
thing is,
Rob, have you been to a wedding?
I haven't actually.
No, Rob's never been to a wedding.
You're not live, mate.
Hit the like button on YouTube. You've been to a wedding. Rob, right? Thank you very much, Rob. So we got Newcastle. We got Newcastle next. Bit of a busy Christmas period. Do you think it's going to be a really, really tough Christmas period, or are we going to get through it?
I think it's going to be just as tough. And when we beat City and Tottenham 2-1, but I still didn't feel confident after them because, as you can see, we can only seem to play well against the top teams because they press us and leave space in behind for the counter-attack. But against the teams at the bottom of the half of the table, it's very easy for them just to sit back, and we just have so little creativity, especially in our midfield. We can't seem to carve through even the worst teams in the league. So I just can't see how it's going to get better.
Yep.
I think we need, with Ollie, I just don't think he has the right tactical mind to get the best creativity out of our players. I feel like I'm watching the game and there are so many glaring errors. As one of you said, putting balls into the box. When do we put balls into the box? Hardly ever. Sure, he's an attacking fullback, but he hardly ever gets forward, and whenever he does get forward, he doesn't seem to put any sort of decent quality ball into the box. I just feel like the basics are lacking so much. I just can't see it getting better for us over the Christmas period, to be honest.
Rob, thank you very much for your call, mate. Wonderful to speak to you. We've got 2 more callers before we wrap things up. We've got CK on the line, mate. You okay, CK?
Yeah, mate.
Hi there, I'm good. I'm a bit frustrated about today.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think there's one thing I need to address before we get to the main point about today. A lot of these fans are saying Ollie out, but a lot of these fans were saying Ollie in when he won the major games for us. Against Tottenham, against Man City, we beat Chelsea twice this season. And to be honest, now I'm sick of it. I mean, Ollie, I don't understand. If we get Poch in, he hasn't won anything with Tottenham in 5 years he was there, right?
He improved the team though, didn't he? You can admit that.
Yeah, he did, but in 5 years he didn't win a trophy. And I'm saying, if we get Poch in, would that take the same amount of years for us until the fans start saying Poch out? We've got how many managers in the last couple of years now?
Exactly.
And it's been the same story consistently. It's we get Van Gaal in, we get David Moyes in, we get Jose Mourinho in. How many managers are we going to get in
until it works?
Stick to one manager, and until we're patient. To be honest, we need to be patient. I don't know how long it's going to take. I think we need to stick with Ollie for at least one more season, like a full-on whole season. He needs to have one more transfer market. If he doesn't do as well, then the board has to come to a decision what they want to do with that. But
it's the board's responsibility to help him as well. If he doesn't get back in January, they've set him up for a fall. They must back him in January with at least 2 players. And if he gets European qualification for next season via the league or winning a cup, then he's earned another crack at this. He's earned another crack for next season, but he's definitely earned a crack to the end of the season. But this board and this Mr. Ed Woodward must take some responsibility and show they care for this manager.
What's he? I don't understand. What's he earned? How has he earned this right until the end of the season? I don't understand. Just outside of his history as a player at the club, just take that away. His record is worse than David Moyes, and we had this conversation off camera, Andy, and we're saying, did you want David Moyes out? Did you want David? So the football's exactly the same. It's turgid.
Look at the results, though.
What do you mean? We've just been beat by bottom of the league. I mean, look at the results. I'm looking at them.
City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they all rise to the occasion. There's something there. They can perform. But
yes, but not consistently.
Not consistently. Not consistently. Something there.
To the microphone.
But the thing is,
there's something there.
Andy, if you're going to celebrate a manager based on the wins against Liverpool, then you've got to criticise him when we're getting fucking beat by bottom of the league.
Right.
Yes, we'll stop sitting on the fucking fence. Then he needs to be criticised, and he's not doing a shit job.
Well, I've said many a time this season. Sometimes I will look at his substitutions. He doesn't make a fucking substitution. He doesn't fucking know when to fucking bring on a player. I'll bring off a fucking player.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, I will criticise him, but I will not fucking want him sacked. I will tell him that
CK, you've
now.
caused an absolute mayhem, mate. Right, CK, good speech, you mate. Have a good night and Merry Christmas. Right, we're going to Hansa as our final caller. Is it Hansa? Have I said that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right, talk to us then. Your final call on Full-Time Devils Takeover. What do you want to say today?
I've got no words to describe what I've just seen. First half we were horrendous, didn't create nothing at all. We didn't get started into the game, and when Pogba came on in the second half, I thought we actually played better. Because the way he was creating stuff, and I don't know what's going on. So when we beat Spurs and City, I thought, we're our minds are back together. We can try and challenge for the top four, but then we played Everton, and then it wasn't that great. And then today was embarrassing. Embarrassing is what I can say. Watford, their first home win, they're bottom of the league, and we struggled to beat aside from that.
Well, you're right on that, lad. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I've just had an argument with my colleague. Look, we all care.
It's a debate. It's a heated debate.
It's a heated debate. Look, I will criticise Solskjaer for not doing the right decisions and the right tactics every game, but I will not want him fucking sacked. Then we're back to square one with another manager, and another 12 months from now we're back down the fucking same shit loop. You know what I mean? This is what we got to stick with this. We can't chop change. I'm fucking sick of it. These players now, there's a team unity there, but fucking hell, when you step on the pitch, assume your responsibility and fucking play for the shirt and the badge. If you care that much for the travelling United fans who made that trip today before Christmas, look at yourselves in the fucking mirror and pull your finger out your ass for Boxing Day.
End of. Right, mate. Hansa, thank you very much for being our final caller. I think we should end things on there. He couldn't believe it. Could you believe it? Full-Time Devils bring you all the build-up and all the fallout, from Watford today. So keep subscribing to Full-Time Devils. You've obviously got Fancams on the way from Watford. I'm sure there'll be some unhappy people there. The build-up and the previews to the big Christmas period is coming up as well. Full-Time Devils is your place to be. So make sure you are locked in. And thank you very much to Andy Tate. Thank you very much to Andy. Go check them all out on Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. Have a Merry Christmas. I know you got me today. Don't let it ruin your Christmas. See you in a bit. Bye. Let's wait. Bye.